216-578-1007 if you want to join us. 800-348-1007. 35192. You want to text me. AlanCoxShow.com. The Christie's Instagram hotties are there for you.
Oh, it's a good one today.
As it is a Monday. After today, we only have 10 shows remaining in the year. A lot of people have been hitting me up about the Alan Cox Show 10th anniversary special. That is officially in flux.
As it has been, yes.
In flux.
So,
You know.
as soon as I can tell you, I will tell you. I'll tell you what, those Japanese, they come up with some wacky ideas, but they also come up with some pretty good ideas, too. And I think that this is now, granted, this store has already rethought this, because even in Japan, everybody's whining and complaining, but there was a department store that gave badges to women who were menstruating so that they could let other people know that they were on their period. And the thought behind it, I mean, you know,
Badges?
It was, we don't need no stinking badges. I said that some of the women were reluctant to wear them. Not my word. I'm just quoting here. There's probably something lost in the translation there from Japanese to English. But he said, but other people thought it was a good idea. If you saw a colleague who had the period badge on, you could offer to carry heavy things for her. You know how you girls get weaker when you're on your period
Yeah.
because you're losing so much blood.
So much iron.
And
So much
other
iron
things.
deficiency.
And other things.
What?
More than blood.
Yeah, it's more
There's
than
more
blood.
than blood in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, you know, if she's got the badge on, suggest that she take longer breaks.
That's where the 30% of our paycheck goes, right out the blood.
And this support would be mutual. There you go. So they said they're not canceling this policy, but they're certainly rethinking it. I mean, if you were walking through a Target and you saw, I mean, everything's red in there anyway, and you see a girl wearing a badge that denotes that she's on her period, I mean, would you help?
Why? How can they even check that? Like, how do they got everybody's calendar up and they're like, all right, Stacy, you got to wear that badge according to the calendar. You would start menstruating next week. Like,
You know, they don't dig into that, but I'm just going to say that this is probably a
the
program.
honor system?
I imagine it's a program that girls go into voluntarily. Yeah, probably the honor system, right, is how they would do it. They'd say, hey, I just want to let you know for the next, let's say, 8 days, all right? I'm going to be a colossal pain in the ass. It's not because I dislike my job. Here's why.
It's not even the period that's the worst part. It's the week before.
It's the pre-menstrual
yes.
syndrome.
The PMS is 1,000 times worse than the actual period. The first couple days suck. First day or two are really bad, and then it's fine after that.
I have been extraordinarily lucky. I have, what do they say, Bill? Outkicked my coverage. There's a sports
That's
analogy
that's
that
one
some
thing you
people
say.
might understand. I've been extraordinarily lucky in my life, not just wives, in my life, with not getting psychotic. Now, I've had girls that were psychotic the other 3 weeks of every month, right? Just,
Consistent.
yeah. But the PMS thing, I really think I've dodged a lot of bullets.
It's the worst. Mine's getting worse as I get older, too.
I don't ever recall being in a situation where I was like, oh, she's on her period. That's what's going on right now.
It's for me. It's just I can't really control it. Like normally, I mean, I know I cry a lot to begin with, but it's one of those things where I'm like, at the drop of a hat, it doesn't matter what it is, it'll make me cry, or I'll get super angry and mood swings. It's the worst.
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears. The bears can smell the menstruation.
Speaking of which, why don't you have one of these eyelid cysts that Poundcake had taken off his face because he cries all the time?
I don't cry myself to sleep. I do my crying during the day.
What's that got to do with it?
Daytime crying hours.
Daytime crying is different than nighttime crying, because nighttime crying, it pools all up in your pillow, and then the dead skin cells get in there.
And you have to have a condition. I cry, but I have a condition. It's called...
He has a
He's
card.
got a
He
note from
pulled
the
out a note
doctor.
card, just so everybody knows.
I'm curious. I like to learn things.
Type in BLEPHAR.
Wait. BLEPHAR. Blepharitis?
I don't know.
Blepharitis.
I don't know what that is.
Well, that's what you have.
What you got?
An inflammation, blepharitis is an inflammation of the eyelids that can affect the eyelashes or tear production. Commonly occurs when tiny oil glands near the base of the eyelashes become clogged.
Yeah.
That is
All
weird
right, well, there you go.
because I mean, you think that'd be more common with women who like wear makeup and things like that.
This
It
poor
might
kid
be.
in his skin, he's already got the eczema
I know.
or whatever you got.
Well, I think it all ties into it because I think
it must.
the oil and stuff probably makes up for like the skin that like flakes off from my psoriasis. It sounds
Oh
really
my
bad.
God.
No, it might be. Your body
nice,
might be
yeah.
like overproducing
It
oil.
might be a deficiency or
to
something
make up
like
for
that.
it.
So I don't know, but I've had skin problems for as long as I can remember, and luckily, part of it comes out of my 10K. That stuff gets taken out when I had to get surgeries and stuff done. But yeah, it sucks. So yeah, cry yourself to sleep. Just don't have overactive glands. Feel free to cry yourself
This
to
poor
sleep.
young man, he has an overactive heart and overactive glands. That's really the worst part.
just
you know?
wanna go.
Either one or the other.
I want to cry on the beach.
I was
Wow.
having
Not in
like,
my pillow.
I was having like a little bit of a contemplative moment, and I'm like, I'm about due for my cry. Every like
An annual cry.
eight or 9 months, I'll have a cry, and
And the
like,
holidays
That's
just exacerbate
unbelievable.
it too, right?
yeah, and I'm like, oh, it'd be real convenient if I could just get it out right now, but it's not how it works.
I just have
got to be
That's
ambushed,
crazy to me.
right?
Why
I don't know
you
what
do
I
it?
would do if I couldn't cry for 8 months.
Why don't you do it in? There's no reason to cry. Why don't you, Bill, do this in the comfort of Squifle Tower in
In the shower.
solitude? No.
That's what I'll do. Yeah.
What I'm saying is,
I'm not gonna cry in public.
All right, relax.
what I'm
Relax.
saying is,
You want to cry on the radio show?
Okay, first of all, stop.
there have to be ways that you could
Trigger it?
yes,
Yeah.
with the stimulus to get this going. You could log on
A
to
certain
YouTube or
song,
something.
I was gonna say a certain song
No,
or
I
a
already told you.
movie or
I told you things though that don't really. There are movies, but songs don't do that to me. There's not a song that I listen to and go, this is getting me in the feelings. Like I don't listen
Well,
to
there are
music
some songs
way.
that
Don't
I'll
take
have
the
a very
girl.
emotional attachment to, but it would never make me cry.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't believe that. And you felt it coming on and you pushed it back down?
No. I just thought, I'm like, it's been a while. It'd be nice if I could just get this over with. And I tried to make it happen, but I can't do it if
What do
I'm
you think will
thinking about
what
it.
normally triggers it?
I usually just like a hangover.
I was gonna say, dude, that's when it is.
alcohol induced.
When you're
everybody-
hungover, that was why my life was such a shrimp show the first half of this year. Hungover all the time, your anxiety and depression, everything, hormones are all out of whack.
Right, but,
But
you're also talking about you had frequent hangovers.
Well,
If somebody's hungover once a month, I don't know that's going
but
to
the
make them cry.
severity of the hangover can really mess with your body, man.
Really?
I mean,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
called
it-
the booze blues. It's very real, like
It's
a
the booze blues.
booze blues. When
Really?
you like the next day when you're feeling real sad and you can't get your things together and you got that like general nervousness and general nervousness.
Nervousness.
For the last month, get used to.
Oh, yeah.
we better get it all out.
No, but that's a very real thing.
Huh.
So a terrible. Was it the day of the Tool after the Tool concert?
No, that was I didn't cry that time. I was just hungover.
I can't wait to have a
And again, it has to like it's really it's
Like a
usually
perfect
quick,
storm.
a perfect storm of things because a lot of that was a fun night. So I was like, I'm hungover today, but I had so much fun, so I was in a good mood. So it needs to be a few different things.
So you're like
that
angry
happen.
drinking or sad drinking,
And
just
it-
pounding back some
It doesn't
red
have to
wine,
be,
getting in your feels.
doesn't have to be drinking either. It could just happen.
Hmm.
But I can't manufacture it. Like I can't sit and think about something and then just start crying.
So you're not like an
I
actor
get
who can cry on cue.
ambushed. Yes, I get ambushed by feelings at some point.
I think most people could make themselves fake cry, but
I
not,
want to see
uh,
tears streaming down.
I don't know that I
streaming.
could, to be honest with you. I cry so much, I don't think I can fake
I
it.
guess there's
but you
there's
might just
always
really cry.
You think everybody
Right.
has a song that makes them cry?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I do.
I do.
Oh, it's the holidays after all. I'm gonna need to take a minute. Anybody have a Kleenex? Oh, okay, good. I got my cry out.
Good for you.
Thank
Happy
you.
for you.
Alan, tell Poundcake to get some eyelid wipes.
Well, I'll get those too. I have.
He's probably got prescription stuff coming, huh?
I'm trying to call, but no one's answering my call. Like I was calling the pharmacy and you are 5 in queue. I'm like, damn it! I just want to know if my eye cream is there.
Oh, they're using Q. For
Yeah.
them.
It should be by the end of the show. If you went this morning,
I went like at 11.
that's
and
what
Yeah,
I'm
it should
saying.
be
Yeah,
there.
it'll be there. That stuff usually takes like an hour or two.
paranoid because
Not
I'm
even.
on a deadline. Everything, like Thanksgiving break was just a cluster F. Like after dinner was nice, but like I was ripping and running. I showed up to my appearance.
I wanna go to your
Turned out I
Thanksgiving
didn't
dinner sometime.
have an appearance.
Yeah, Poundcake posts these photos of like his family Thanksgiving, and it looks opulent. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like beautiful. Yeah, we got so lucky weather-wise traveling. I thought for sure we were going to get hammered with something because of
Dude.
I was looking at the maps. It was a little bit of rain in Ohio, like when we left, but all the way to Chicago and all the way back, It was bone dry. We got so lucky.
When I was in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and North Dakota, I missed not snow. Not one day did it snow the entire time. For 14 days that I was up there, I was blown away.
I thought we were going to be outrunning it on the way
Mm-hmm.
back, and it was nothing like that. So
I thought my car was going to break down or something.
No, yeah. Dinner was immaculate, I should say. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah, the way it's set up, it looks incredible. It's very picturesque.
And my mom.
Were there any familial arguments?
No. Oh, well, yeah.
Any
I had to think about it.
Any inherent tensions that rose up?
We stayed away from it because I think before I got there, my aunt and uncle argued over the impeachment hearings, and my uncle, my uncle was saying that it was all a coup and blah blah blah, and my aunt,
coup.
and she was like, I can't believe that, but my aunt didn't vote, so now it's just. So we stayed away from the topic, but I could tell he was a little.
I thought for sure it was
it.
going to pop up somewhere in my family, and I think we were all probably avoiding it.
We didn't have any political debates, but we had a little bit of like a family kind of debate. We were sitting there as me, my younger sister, my brother, my middle brother, and we were like talking about maybe doing a family vacation next year of like the siblings and the nieces and nephews, so all the cousins can be together. It's a lot.
That is
and then
a
it's
lot.
like my stepbrother, who's been there forever too, and his wife, and they have a daughter. You know, like that'd be cool. You know, if we could all get together. And then my stepmom and my dad are like, well, we want to come. You know, what's going on with that? And then my little sister jumps in and she's like, well, you guys can't come because mom can't come. So we're just going to keep it, because if you guys come and mom doesn't come, then it's a whole thing that we got to hear about for that. And then it was like, there's tension between my dad and my older sister, but everybody wants to be included. And it's like, this is never going to work. For us to get everybody into a house in like South Carolina
and be able to everyone put in their fair share of the money for it.
It's a good idea. Like but it would end up being like 25 people, and we're like, that's an 8-bedroom house. It's $2,500 a night.
It's a
like,
pressure cooker waiting to explode.
And that was the other thing. And even just the tensions that started to arise discussing the trip. Where I was like, I have no kids and no worries. I will smoke weed on that beach every day. I don't care. I said, what I'm concerned about that I want to voice is that when you guys start to get on different schedules, when some kids are too tired and being a little bratty, and then that pisses off one of the other parents, and then you guys go at each other about parenting techniques. Like, I feel like it's just a big blow up waiting to happen.
And Auntie Mary would be doing a lot more heavy lifting than she thinks too.
Oh yeah, I know they push them off on me. I'd be playing in the sand while they're relaxing. I get it. But that's what I was like. I brought up the idea, and I was like, is this a realistic thing? For all 5, 6 siblings, like 12 adults, and all of the children to be in a house together.
You guys should look into a cruise. I don't think a house would be the best
I don't think
bet
a
for
cruise
you guys.
either, though.
Oh, God, you're even more confined
yeah,
on a cruise.
because you're in a real tiny, tiny room then.
Yes, but you don't have to share on the same.
Yeah,
you don't have to share the same room. You could have like a floor. All you guys together. You guys could be in different sections of the boat. The kids can go to like a kid daycare, or they have games.
Yeah, but the whole point of it
still be
is
arguing over who does what when. And
well, that was the other
scheduling.
thing that I was like, if we're there for like say 6 nights, and it's like, okay, the first night we get there, we just get settled in. The second night we can go grocery shopping and make dinner, hamburgers, hot dogs, whatever. Third night we can split up. Men go do something, women go do something. Fourth night, every family go do what you need to do, and then we hang out and then we leave. You know.
Right.
And on paper, it seems like a good idea. But I was just watching.
Until the head count, when you realize you're down a kid.
Right.
And then you've got to search the boat.
Lost in Myrtle Beach.
And that is no fun at all. Because then everybody's got to go back. How are you going to drag an ocean?
You're right.
Yeah.
Even just like I was like looking up on Airbnbs for houses and stuff like that. And even my brother like micromanaging me looking up a fake scenario was making me crazy. I was like, we're not even for sure doing this, and you're yelling at me saying, there's no way it costs $1,800. I was like, do you want the app? Would you like to look at the app? Because we have 24 people that we need to accommodate.
So what you're saying is that the various members of your family are not uniform in their problem-solving skills.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you
that
got to
was the
have that.
closest we had to like a hiccup or a fight or anything
You guys
like
should
that.
just do one big family reunion. Just one day, rent out a park, and then have that be your get-together.
Yeah.
Don't have a weekend getaway. That never works. It's going to burn down.
I just thought it would be a nice thing. Again, coming from the one sibling with no ties. I have no kids. I have no spouse. I have nothing like that.
You should just go on a vacation by yourself.
I don't want to. And the cousins never get to see each other. Like my brother lives in Kentucky.
They'll be
and
fine.
No, but they're getting to the age where they're like 6 and 7, and this is when you want to have cousins and play.
It would be
you
a
know?
nice thing,
Yeah.
objectively.
Well,
but-
tell your brother stop living in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's the solution.
That is the solution.
Not figuring out 1 week to go on
No,
vacation.
tell him
Move
move
your
back.
house.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. See, I'm the only outlier in my family. I'm the only person who doesn't still live with near my family.
Yeah.
So everybody else is hanging out.
Well,
and I'm the
nobody's
one,
close. Well, close-ish. My sister lives in Fremont, which is an hour and a half away. My younger sister's in Brook Park. My brother's down south of Columbus, and then my other brother's in Louisville, Kentucky.
You should figure out a spot on the map that is equidistant from everyone.
Well,
and
then
then
we
go,
thought-
hey, guys, we're going to have fun in...
Meet up at
We
the
thought
gathering
about-
of the Juggalos.
No, we thought about Hocking Hills, like getting like a cabin.
That would be dope.
Like down in Hocking, because that's
Cabins
closer
are
to my
beautiful.
brother's, and that's not too far to travel. And then it's like a big cabin, and there's space for the kids. It's not
There
a
you
lake
go.
or
They can go out and
anything
play,
like that.
yeah, right.
But there's still space for them to go explore and hang out and have cousin time. But it was just the more the conversation went
Cousin
on.
time means something different in Kentucky. Another reason he should leave Kentucky.
My God.
cousin time.
Yeah, the last time we stayed in Hocking Hills, I think we had like 16 or 18 people. So I mean, they have big cabins there that can
Yeah.
accommodate everybody.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of, do you want to go in the winter or do you want to go in the summer?
Summer. Be outside. Outdoor
Yeah.
people.
But you can ice
Hang
skate
out.
in the winter.
Yeah, but you don't want to have 24 people locked up in a cabin in the winter. That's how The Shining
You can go
happened.
outside for half. That's not The Shining at all.
Yeah, it is. He was locked up with
It was
25
three
of his
people.
relatives. No, you're thinking of the wrong Shining. And then he went crazy because his brother brought up the impeachment.
You're thinking of The Shinning.
Oh,
Yeah, The Shinning is what you're
that's
thinking of.
different?
Yeah.
Who's in that one?
It is ironic, by
That's
the way.
Jack Nicholas, not Jack
The
Nicholson.
golfer. Yeah, the
right?
golfer.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
All right, I'm sorry.
Watching the news of the holiday is ironic that the bulk of the cousin effing states still want to make it so hard for women to get abortions.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'd think they'd make natural allies.
Right.
Hey, your cousin's hot. You're going to leave it in. Yeah.
Feels better,
Oh,
right?
come on. You don't want to have to mess with that later on. Just something that...
How far removed are we thinking though? Like first cousin?
First
No,
cousins.
Definitely no. But like second, third?
Well, the problem is that they're not removed at all. They need to remove themselves. Yeah, again, it's difficult to coordinate those things. Just for my family, the only person who needs to coordinate is me because nobody comes here.
Right.
No one comes here. I have to go there. So I'm outnumbered.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys are like, well, it's almost a built-in excuse to not do anything because everybody's so disparate and kind of, you know.
Everybody's just
Whatever.
far enough away that it's annoying.
There you go.
My sister's an hour and a half. My brother's 2.5. The other brother's 6. It's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I was putting up my TV last week with my dad, and we were working on that together. And I was telling Mary about it, and she's like, I thought you don't talk to your parents. I'm like, no, we don't talk. There's a difference. It's not like
We chat. We don't talk.
Yeah, we don't talk.
No, I
Like,
said
there's-
something like, did it make up for whatever lost time or something like that? It was
No,
something
no,
along, I
you were-
didn't say.
You were like,
I tried to make a joke.
well, the joke did not come through the text, but it
Either
felt
way.
like you were surprised that we were.
I was surprised that your dad was there hanging up a TV with you.
Yeah,
I
because
was.
we'll do stuff like that, but we don't talk about anything else.
That's
so,
what's
like-
weird to me is that generally I feel like if you don't have a, I guess I thought you don't really have a relationship with your family. Is the way
do,
that I
it's
look
just,
at
it's
it.
a very
It's a specific kind of
it's a-
relationship.
yeah, because there's
It's
a lot
more
of things
professional.
Yes, it's a very professional family relationship where there's a lot of things that I do
Cut
that
and
he doesn't
dry.
approve of, and there's a lot of things that he does that I don't approve of. So we just keep things on the
Surface.
we love each other.
Well, yeah,
but
there
we
are
don't
so many.
particularly
There are so many
get
other.
along the other way.
But there are so many other things that people can chat about. I mean, it's,
well,
there's only-
we had a project, and when we have a project to work on together, we do really well in
There you
those
go.
situations.
Let's do a
because we
puzzle,
had
1,000 pieces.
We had to hang my TV, so
Hang your TV.
we're going at it and making sure, and running back and forth to Home Depot because we kept getting the wrong stuff, and him making mistakes and me correcting those mistakes, and vice versa was good, and that's where me and my dad get along best. Where we're working on something
talking business.
with an end goal, and as soon as it was done, and he's like, "All right, I gotta go," and I'm like,
See,
"Perfect."
that's so strange to me. It's like if you guys,
He didn't ask me about
retreat to your respective
you
corners.
dating anybody, how's work, not one question about my personal life. Just we got to get this TV on the wall, and I will see
And
you
you're okay
at
with that?
Christmas.
Yes, because
Yes,
Bill and his
because-
dad are smart enough to know that they don't want to know the answers to those questions.
Right.
that seems sadder to me than not talking at all.
Well, but if
I'd
that's what
rather
if
not
that's what
talk to
works
you.
for them,
I'm also a much, like you said, I'm a much more emotional person than you are. That I would have a difficult time separating those two. That is like we're gonna hang out for 2 hours today, and we're not even gonna. It would be awkward. I don't know how that's not awkward.
but what do you
How is
want?
that not
But
an
what-
awkward?
No, but
Because that's why we have a project.
But also, why are you constantly looking to dig into your family's
I'm not
lives?
constantly looking to dig into my
So
family's
what's he missing
lives.
out on?
But what I'm saying is that if it, I had a different understanding of what your family relationship was. You never talk about them. You never, from what I thought.
Because that's all we did.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
like,
That's not weird to you guys. It's like a contractor. That's not your dad. That's a contractor.
Well, that's what he does.
That's what I'm saying. That's not a something you did with your
Right,
dad.
but-
That's like something you hired a guy to do.
But instead, it was me and
But
my
it's
dad
your
working
dad.
on a project together.
Because his
I don't
dad's a
know.
professional.
Yeah.
I get it. It's just weird to me.
The
That's
event,
weird to me.
In the events over the years in which I've spent time with Bill's parents, lovely people.
They are incredible people.
But I
Yeah.
assume that the nature of my conversations with them is very similar to the nature of Bill's conversations
That's
with
what I'm
them.
saying. That's not weird to you that you talk
No.
to your family this, like, I don't know.
That's
well,
my
you have
assumption.
to consider who my family is.
Right?
And what they're about versus who I am and what I'm about.
Right, which is why I thought you didn't have a good relationship with them.
No, it's gotten better to the point where, but it's definitely pared down to certain aspects where I love my parents, they love me, and
But he is still excommunicado from
Yeah.
a lot of other things.
yeah, and that's all they do is go to church and do church stuff. So they'll be like, oh, here's the things that's going on in church. I'm like, I don't remember any of these people. I don't know who they are, so they're not gonna tell me about it, and I'm not gonna be like, well, I had this skank over last night.
Bill and his dad are each doing each other a favor.
I guess it's just a strange situation to me. That's not a strange, like,
How are the skanks, son?
right.
Skanky as ever, pops.
How's the gazebo situation these days? Have you been out there? Oh, well, I'll tell you what, these crazy gals.
But that's why Grandma was such an important figure in my life, because, and still is, because I never had a parental figure where I could be that open with.
You could talk about the other stuff.
Yes,
Okay.
I could go into that stuff and really appreciated being able to share that stuff with her.
Yeah.
Now, she didn't always like what I had to say. I didn't always like what she had to say, but we were able to communicate on that level versus my parents, who they just don't really want to know.
Yeah,
And I don't really want
guess.
to tell them.
Yeah. I guess.
All right, listen, I've got to take a break.
Come back. We'll dive into.
Mary's going to call Bill's dad, and
Okay.
Bill's going to call Mary's dad. Also want to dig into this box. This customer sent us a box full of gifts, and so I'll read his letter and figure out what's going on here. After this break, I will have those Vince Neil tickets for you. Motley Crue says they're going back out. But before that, if you don't want to wait, Vince Neil is doing some solo dates. January 10, he'll be out at the MGM Northfield Park. 35192 if you want to text, or alancoxshow.com.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
On WMMS.